Right, welcome back to the holiday special, final Premier League predictions of 2021. Quite emotional. It's been an excellent year. Would you like to see a little recap of 2021 on my channel? That's a good video idea. But it's Prem predictions time. How you doing, Thogden?
Oh, I'm getting all emotional. Half the season is gone. Christmas is gone. Merry Christmas to everybody, by the way.
But we've still got the holiday fever with the New Year's celebrations to come. This is the final matchup. How did we do last week?
Well, celebrating for Thogden, I got 5 points. Subscriber Tom got 4 points and Thogden got 3 points. The scores are on the doors right now. I'm 3 points ahead.
I'm raging. Let's get into this game week, starting with
Crystal Palace against Norwich City, 12th against 20th. All I can say is smashed at the weekend. 8 goals they conceded between them, Theo.
Yeah, 5 of them for Norwich, 3 of them for Palace, and it was demolition at both. I was at the Palace game, and all I can say is when they came up against Son, Kane, Lucas Moura, they couldn't handle it. Maybe it was with Vieira out, you could see there was the players weren't under control. Zaha going out and getting a red, that was just silly. He's let the team down. This would have been a battering with Zaha. Now they're going to have to rely on Conor Gallagher to do the business against Norwich.
I know, I've got him in my team, but Zaha does that now and again. But yeah. Norwich, Theo, I watched that game and I thought they were poor. They were absolutely destroyed by Arsenal.
Maybe I would have given them a chance of scoring or even winning against Palace away, but I can't when they're getting destroyed by that Arsenal team. It is quite a young, with high potential, that side. But it's still doable to not concede 5-2 at home. It was insane. Dean Smith, it's like it's all fallen off for him.
Absolutely. I'm going straight to it. Palace 2, Norwich 0.
I've gone Palace 2, Norwich 0 as well. I think Conor Gallagher might get like a goal and assist. Norwich have failed to win on 26 out of 27 trips to London. I don't think it will change now. What will give them a bit of hope, though, is 4 of the 5 games they end the calendar year with, they get a draw. So maybe they might sneak something, but I'm not going for it. I agree with you, Dad. 2-0. Thogdad, do you know where our guest this week is?
I have no idea.
It's MORGZ.
No, it's not.
The legend.
No,
Morgan
MORGZ.
Hudson is on the channel again this season. We need his dad on next, really.
Bring on Bold Martin. MORGZ.
Not in the ring. Hey, Thogdad, I thought you said bring on Bold Martin quite aggressively there, big man.
I think a 3-way. Greg, Paul,
No, don't say 3-way.
Martin.
That sounds pretty dodgy, mate. Let's just go to MORGZ's prediction.
Has it got another meaning?
How's it going, everybody? Massive thank you to Thogden and Thogdad for having me back on the channel. This time, though, I'm not going to be going easy on you guys. I'm going to be getting that dub soon. Okay, match 1. Crystal Palace versus Norwich. It doesn't look like the most exciting game, to be honest, but I think the score for this one will be a big fat 1-1. I think it's going to be a draw, because Vieira's Palace love a draw, and I just think Norwich could not win a game to save their lives. So, 1-1.
Southampton against Tottenham, Hotspur 14th against 5th. These are 2 teams who won at the weekend. Southampton went to the Olympic Stadium and beat West Ham. That's massive there.
Massive. But the problem with Southampton is when they face Tottenham, they have the worst record against them than any other club since they first joined the Premier League in 2012.
Wow, we're hearing lots of Thogden facts these days. But, you know, James Ward-Prowse, he's some player, isn't he, Theo?
He is some player. But last time they played Tottenham, they're on a 4-win unbeaten run. And then they got battered 5-2. Historically, Tottenham win this. And I start to think from the way Antonio Conte is playing, he would be the first manager at Tottenham to go unbeaten in their first 7 games compared to any other Tottenham manager over recent times. That's unbelievable that that's a statistic. Clearly, he's doing a great job. I think he'll get the win.
Theo, it's looking amazing. 13 points from 5 games. Lucas Moura was absolutely incredible. Kane got on the score sheet. Heung-min Son got me some points.
But the problem is, it's their first Premier League away game in 51 days. Now, you may think, Thogden, you're a mug. Of course it isn't. It is. They all got cancelled. They've all been cancelled recently. They had the outbreak. It stopped loads of away games. If you actually look, all their games have been at home. How will that affect the squad?
That could be tough, Theo, psychologically. I get your point. But you know what? Spurs are playing so well at the moment. They're a little bit rested. Southampton 1, Spurs 2. I think this will be a good game.
That's exactly what I've gone for. Kane and Son are firing again. I know Southampton have been very good. Breuer, Livramento, the lads themselves smashing it. I think they'll get 1 goal. Tottenham will get 2. Just like this mug. Over to MORGZ. The ball from Sheffield. Let's go.
Okay, the next match, Southampton at home to Spurs. I'm actually a bit stuck on this one because Southampton were on a bad run of form, but then they did just get a huge win over West Ham. However, Spurs are just doing really, really well under Conte. They've completely turned it around. So I actually don't know. I feel like most people will be backing Spurs to win, but I don't think it'll be quite as comfortable. I think maybe 1-0 Spurs for me.
Watford against West Ham United, 17th against 6th. Now, Watford, Theo, they might be a little bit rested, but before then, 4 losses in a row. Can they get something here?
Well, Dennis will be hungry to get something before he goes to AFCON.
Yes.
Is he in your fantasy team?
He might come into it, Theo. Depends on how many games are called off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But you know what? West Ham, I mean, Mikel Antonio came on, scored a goal, but things are falling away, aren't they, for West Ham?
They are. But I think this is the game it switches round for West Ham. I think they're going to go out there and win. And that's big, because if you look at their recent form, they've really been struggling. We've seen glimpses of quality, like Antonio finally breaking that goal drought.
Yeah.
I feel like holding on to him for me and my fantasy team, I think he'll get a goal.
Theo, I think that's a sensible shout by you, but Watford at their home ground are very unpredictable. You know what? I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw here.
Yeah, well, both teams have scored when they faced last 3 times.
Yes.
So a 2-2 draw, very capable of being the case. Well, this is the funny thing. The both W teams in the Premier League have been desperate for a W because they both haven't got a win in the last 3 games. Unbelievable scenes. But I think this is where the W goes to East London.
Oh.
2-1 West Ham.
Wow, I see what you did then. But the brilliant MORGZ up in Sheffield.
East
What
Sheffield.
do you think, mate?
It might not be East Sheffield, I don't know. But just go to Morgan, the man part of the Wednesday youth.
Okay, next match, Watford at home to West Ham. Now, Watford aren't exactly doing too great. However, West Ham have just lost 2 on the bounce in the Premier League. So, potentially an upset here, I don't know. You know what, for this one, I think I'm going to back MORGZ's men. I'm going to go with West Ham with the score of 2-0. I'm not really confident about that one, guys. 2-0 West Ham, come on, the Hammers.
We've had the W's, now let's have the L's, Theo. Leicester City against Liverpool. It's good that, wasn't it?
Pretty good, yeah.
10th against 2nd. I make this up as I go along, but what a game. Leicester City against Man City, 6-3. Could have been 6-6, couldn't it?
That it's the second last dance for Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. They're
Yeah.
going to enjoy this game. But yeah, going over to Leicester, they've got to feel hard done by. 3 goals in the last 2 games for them scored. 0 wins. That's got to be a killer.
Oh my god, it's hard to predict this one. Iheanacho and Maddison did the damage. It could easily been 4-4 at one point. But the problem is at the back, isn't it?
It is.
The 4th worst defence in the whole league.
And I don't think it's going to improve in this game because over 14 head-to-heads, they've only kept 1 clean sheet, Leicester. What is your prediction?
Well, Liverpool have scored 50 goals this season. Their winning run was ended, as we know, by Tottenham Hotspur. But this one, surely they're going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1 there.
Yeah, 3-1 Liverpool makes sense. The only time they've lost in recent years on the final calendar match was back in 2013. Since their wins mostly and a few draws. I'm going to stick with 3-1. Similar to
Yes.
what I think it's the same.
Same.
Yeah, and let's go over to the man, part of the Wednesday youth, over in Sheffield. But his mum, I don't even know. Does his whole family support Wednesday?
no
Whatever,
idea.
I'm waffling here, aren't I?
You are waffling,
Let's
yeah.
go over to Morgan.
Leicester seem to be able to score a lot of goals, but I know personally, because I had Kasper Schmeichel in my FPL team for 10 games this season, and it did not get me 1 clean sheet. Leicester cannot defend. They only just got their 2nd clean sheet of the season, like a few weeks back. I am not confident in that Leicester defence to hold off Liverpool. I think it will be 2-1 to Liverpool. Salah and Van Dijk. Big bullet header from the corner. A big Fogdad bullet header.
Chelsea versus Brighton and Hove Albion, 3rd against 9th. 2 teams who won, Theo, at the weekend. All I can say about Chelsea, Romelu Lukaku.
Late Christmas present, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. He came off the bench, and that assist he got for the penalty is just like nobody's catching up
And
with
the
me.
first goal, I
Yeah.
mean, to get in front of Tyrone Mings. Tyrone Mings was chilling there like, I'm going to head the ball out here. Lukaku happened. Bosh. Even Emi Martinez just looks over at Tyrone Mings and he's like, it's Lukaku, we can't do much about that, lads. He's just frustrated. What an impact sub.
Brilliant, mate. And Brighton, I saw that game against Brentford. That was Tony Bloom against Matthew Benham, wasn't it, Theo?
What a derby.
The battle of the owners.
I know. Tony Bloom will be happy that, either Trossard or Malpe were their man of the match. That's a big derby. I'd like to make a video on that. People don't see that as a fan derby, but in terms of owners and the top of the level, them owners hate each other more than anyone else. That is a serious fixture.
Chelsea are just a little bit too good. I'm going for a 2-0 win to Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, I mean, we got to say, 2 competitive away wins from both sides of Christmas Day with 2 goal margins. Tuchel's turned it round. People thought he was falling away, and he does what he always does, because that's why he's one of the best managers in the world. And he gives me confidence as to give a prediction that they're going to go and win it by a 2-goal margin again. So I'm going to say 2-0. Hudson-Odoi and Lukaku to get the goals.
Big call. Over to Morgs and Bold Martin in Sheffield.
probably not Martin. He's probably not there.
Right, next game is Chelsea at home to Brighton. Ooh, I'm feeling that there might be a bit of an upset here. Now, Chelsea aren't doing bad at the moment, but they've dropped a few points, they're getting a few draws in there. And Brighton are kind of going under the radar a little bit. They're actually doing really, really well this season. They're 9th in the table with a few games in hand. They're just not losing many games. I've just checked, and outside of the top 3, they have the least amount of losses, which is why, for my prediction, I'm going to go with 1-1. Yeah, that's right. I'm backing Brighton to get a result here.
Brentford in 13th against Manchester City in 1st. We talked about Brentford a moment ago. Now, overall, Theo, they're 9 points from safety. It's been a good year for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very solid year. Obviously, they'd look to improve.
Yes.
And start to get more wins. Will it happen here? You're playing arguably the most convincing Premier League back-to-back champions on recent form. They are on such great form. They're really proving why they are probably going to be back-to-back champions. Do you think they will?
Well, I tell you what, that man Raheem Sterling has come good at the right time, hasn't he?
Absolutely. 6 contributions in 5 games. That's astonishing. And, it just shows when you give someone game time and you trust in them,
yes,
they will provide. And I think it's another convincing winner. But maybe goals either way. What's your thoughts?
Well, you know what? Brentford 0, Man City 3. I think Man City will want to tighten up a little bit at the back.
Oh, it's funny. They haven't actually played much football because of all the whole outbreak and side taking time off because of what's happened between their squads. They've only had 1 game in the last 2 weeks. That was to Brighton. That would have been a bit of a shock to them. Brighton absolutely, they smashed it. That's fair. But the first few minutes of that game, Brentford were dominant. And I think they'll do it again. I think they'll get a goal, but City will score 3. Let's be real. They haven't lost a game, Premier League game, lost calendar of the year, in 20 years. And it's not going to change here, let's be real. But I think it'll be a good 4-goal thriller.
Next up, we got Brentford at home to Man City. And I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win this one. It's Brentford. I'm going 7-0 Brentford. I hope I'm allowed to change my prediction after I've said it. I'm going 4-0. But I think it's pretty much anyone's guess how many they're going to score. It could be 5. It literally could be 10.
Everton in 15th against Newcastle United in 19th. We can call this a relegation scrap, can't we, Theo? But the thing about Everton, if they win 2 games, they can easily push towards Wolves in 8th.
Absolutely.
It's really tight in the middle of that league, isn't it?
I think it's unfair calling Everton a relegation fighting side. They're not going to get relegated. They've got quality, and they're going to when DCL, Richarlison back regularly, they're going to be smashing it. I think this game, though, will be a Damari Gray masterclass. One of those home games where he just takes it into his own hands. They've won 4 of their 5 wins have come at home, and I think this will be another. Newcastle play tonight against United. I don't see them taking any points. If they do, it'll be great for my fantasy because everybody's got Ronaldo. Everton 2, Newcastle 1. Damari Gray, brace. What do you reckon?
Well, Newcastle have conceded 41 goals this season. That's the worst defence in the league. They've only won 1, and I agree with you totally. 2-1 to Everton.
Everton at home to Newcastle next. Now, Newcastle, since Eddie Howe's taken over, it hasn't gone great. However, I am convinced at some point they are going to start to turn it around. With the takeover and a new manager, there has to be the morale of the club must be better. At some point, it has to turn around, I feel like. But then again, with Everton, they've got a world-class manager. They've got a great manager in Rafa. And you know what? After bigging up Newcastle and saying how it's got to turn around, if I went against Newcastle, I'd look like a massive hypocrite. So I'm going to go with 2-1 Everton.
Manchester United against Burnley at 7th against 18th before the game tonight. And this is a cracking Lancashire derby.
United play tonight against Newcastle, so it's difficult to judge how they're going to do the week after against Burnley. What I would like to see from Rangnick is players like Sancho and Rashford start to score and play regularly. Because instead of it just all being Ronaldo's not the future of that club. He's what, 36, 37 now? So hopefully we can see more from the rest of the forward line. That's what Rangnick needs to develop over the coming weeks. Maybe we'll see some of that against Burnley. Will Burnley turn up? Because the boys in claret and blue do like a game against United. It's a bit of a rivalry, especially for the Burnley lads. They'll be fired up in that way, and we've seen upsets in the past. Any chance of it?
Well, I tell you what, Theo, Burnley have got 4 games in hand over some teams. They've
That's
drawn
insane.
4 of the last 5 games. They're actually quite tough to beat.
So they'll be chilled out and ready. But so will United. This is their first game in ages.
I tell you what, United are looking like a different proposition under Ralph Rangnick.
Absolutely.
You got that man Ronaldo up front. He could have some fun tonight.
A lot.
I think Sancho, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, you're right, Theo. I want to see these guys get more contributions for their team.
I'm worried about Ronaldo. I know he's going to bag a brace tonight. I just know it. It's going to really annoy me. But my prediction coming into the Burnley game, United 2, Burnley 0. Rangnick hasn't really proven to score loads of goals just yet.
Yeah.
But he gets wins and he gets clean sheets. So I think that's a fair prediction. What about you?
Well, I'm just going to agree with you, and then we're going to go over
surprises.
to MORGZ. I've got a smile on my boat race, because what a guest he is. He's got
legend.
a million times more views than you have.
Oh, you mug.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, shocking. We'll get there one day.
Right, we're down to the final fixture, and it's Man U versus Burnley. Now, part of me kind of wants Burnley to win, just so we can see another Goldbridge freak out. We know he hates Burnley. And to be honest, I think Burnley actually have a bit of a chance here. This could be another ridiculous MORGZ prediction. But Burnley have drawn 4 of the last 5. I haven't gone with 1-0-0 this entire video. So, I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to, for the first time in the video, go 0-0. Drop a comment if you want to see me and Bald Martin go up against Thogden and Thogden in an IRL football challenge, by the way. I don't know if Thogden and Thogden want it, but me and Bald Martin would be up for it. See you later, guys.
What a guest in MORGZ. Thank you for slapping your predictions in again. I love it when he comes on, gives us his ball knowledge. We always beat him. It's an easy 3 points.
Yeah, and if my eyes are over in that direction, it's because there's a massive beer Moretti keg over there.
So please like and subscribe. I'm going to say that quickly before he runs off.
Breakfast of champions, lad.
Absolutely. If we can get to 750k subs before the end of the year, it's impossible. But maybe with Morgan's fans, it's possible. So do it. See you in a bit.
See ya.
Bye, guys.